Well, we survived the second month of 2023. It was also my birthday month. Not a whole lot happened, but we did have a pretty decent month worth of pickups. Quite happy with what I got. We're going to kind of jump right in. I ended up picking up Ishin, Like a Dragon. Looking forward to this. I'm currently playing through this. I'm really happy Sega let us, or did a remaster and let that come out here in the West. That was one I thought we would never get. Along with that, I also got the pre-order bonus of the Steelbook case. Very pretty. Very pretty. Unfortunately, GameStop never got a whole lot of those, so it was kind of strange. The big game for February, a lot of people have been after. I got a copy of Metroid Prime Remastered for whatever reason or another. I used to own the trilogy on the Wii, and the first game, surprisingly, was the only one I really got into. So I was like, well, why not? I sold the trilogy some years ago, so I ended up just like, well, we'll just grab it. I got lucky, pre-ordered it when it came up, and it came through in the mail. So, big one that I honestly was not expecting that would show up at that point in time when it did. I was expecting this early summer, and that is the Rumblefish 2. And this one is kind of a big deal for me because being that I'm a collector of the Atomiswave games, which this game originated on, and the Japan got a PS2 version, and we never got it in the West, we're finally now getting a copy of it, which means I don't really have to chase down the Atomiswave version anymore, which I'm grateful for. Although I don't recall if this one actually came with a code for the first game. It doesn't seem like it did. But I think the Japanese version or the Asian version came with a download code for the first game. Not that it's a big deal. I do own the original Atomiswave version anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. Then Video Game Plus in Canada did reprints of a couple games, and on a whim I picked up Blue Reflection. I have the second game in the series. This one I kind of was like, I'm not into the whole magical girl thing. I never even completed the second game. I stopped about 24 hours into the game. I honestly don't know, other than the fact that this is an obscure game now, why I picked this up. It's the only reason I can justify it. I don't even know if this is something I'm actually going to play or not. We'll see. It may sit in the backlog and be at that point where, well, if I'm not going to play it, get rid of it. Little surprise thing. Finally, after it being MIA for a while, for whatever reason or another, Wave Media offered this indie sampler, which has a Intrepid Izzy, Driving Strikers, and Xenocider demos for the Sega Dreamcast. And you don't come across, much less these days here in 2023, demo discs for the Dreamcast. So I thought that was kind of unique. Wanted to grab that for the Dreamcast collection, of course. Then a big one, I traded in a bunch of Wii games that I didn't play any longer and I didn't really want, towards a Saturn game, a English Saturn game no less. That is Baku Baku, a puzzle game that's very much like Columns, or not really Tetris per se, but yeah, more towards Columns, but with fruits that you match up and animals. It's one that I've been eyeing for some time. It was in really good condition, so I was like, well, it's fairly cheap. Why not? Because you never see Saturn games in the wild anymore, or if you do, they're extremely expensive. And I've regulated myself to pretty much importing it, so I was like, hey, it's an English copy. I'm gonna grab that and trade in towards it, which I did. This next game, I swear I was drunk when I ordered it, because I don't recall ever picking this up for whatever reason or another, but it broke my 3-month streak of not ordering Vita games. And I got the Gundam Battleseed Destiny, which brings me up to 406 games now on the Vita. Again, I was not expecting this. It showed up. I don't recall ever ordering it, but that happened. This one I do recall ordering, and this was just kind of on a whim. I happened to be poking around Strictly Limited websites, and they happen to have some Vita games left. So I picked up the Necrosphere from them, which I did not have. So 407 Vita games. And it did come with a nice little postcard. Originally, it was supposed to come with a soundtrack, but they contacted me and said due to some sort of inventory miscalculation, they didn't have the soundtrack available, which was fine by me. It was actually almost $15 cheaper just to get the game anyway, so save some money in that sense. This last one is kind of a unique thing. I saw this on Adam Koralick's video he showed, and I was like, I probably need to pick that up myself. But this is the imported magazine called Dreamcast Perfect Catalog. And this sucker has everything to do with the Dreamcast. It talks about all the different hardware variants. It goes into detail. Like, it shows you the different colors and shells that they had in Japan that we never really got. So we have a whole list here of the different versions and variants. It even talks about the Naomi, the Atomis Wave, the Divers system. Goes into detail on the different special editions of the games, the different controllers, VMUs. I mean, everything that you can think of. The different variants and modems. Of course, it is all in Japanese, but I could easily probably translate it. But it talks about every single game. It gives you a little detail about it. Shows you a picture of the covers, game shot. I thought it was really neat. So I grabbed that for the collection. There is a Sega Saturn version as well, which I intend to pick up, but I have not done so yet. That one does have every region game for the Saturn, so be it Japan, PAL region, and US on that one, whereas this one only has the Japanese games. But it's still something unique, and I wanted to get that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for February. March is already shaping up to be kind of a big one with a big surprise. I will not spoil it yet. But if you're on some of my socials like Discord and that, you've probably already seen it. You know what's coming, but that'll be in the March pickup already. So that's it for now. As always, I thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.